Have you ever poured your heart and soul into your workouts only to feel frustrated when the results don't match your effort? Or perhaps you find yourself skipping meals or grabbing a quick snack that just doesn't provide the fuel your body craves? You're not alone. According to the American College of Sports Medicine, up to 50% of female athletes may be at risk of relative energy deficiency in sport, or RED-S. And the most likely cause is undereating, often because we're caught in a cycle of trying to balance performance, body image, and the demands of daily life. But what if I told you that the key to building strength and achieving your goals lies in your meal prep? Today, we're going to uncover 5 quick, high-protein recipes that could change the game for you. These are not just recipes, they're solutions designed to nourish your body, support your training, and help you feel empowered in the kitchen. If you've ever wished you could eat better without spending hours on meal prepping, or if you're looking for ways to ensure you're fueling your body adequately, this episode is for you. Join me as I unlock the secrets to smarter meal planning and discover how the right nutrition can transform your performance and help you thrive as the strong, capable athlete that you are. Let's get started. Tired of feeling exhausted after training? Confused about how to fuel your body without all the food rules? Welcome to Female Sports Nutrition, where I'll help you fuel strong, build muscle, and perform your best, all while breaking free from diet culture. I'm Kristen, a sports dietitian, trainer, and Jesus lover, and I'm here to help you fuel with freedom. Lace up your shoes, grab that smoothie, and let's jump in. So you want to get stronger, build muscle, and boost your performance without completely draining your energy? Well, listen up, because I have great news for you. With my one-on-one coaching, you're going to learn everything you need to know about fueling your body so you can build muscle and confidence. You don't even know how to cook? Don't worry. I'll teach you all the skills you need to be successful. I'll show you how to grocery shop, meal plan, meal prep, all based off of your individual needs. You'll never again have to hit Google or Chat GPT to try to figure out what you should be eating, only to be given information that doesn't even apply to you. So join me now with my one-on-one coaching so I can create the ultimate fueling plan for you, and you can get stronger by building muscle and confidence. Head on over to elitenutritionandperformance.com/coaching. So over the years, I have literally tried hundreds upon hundreds of recipes to find quick and easy, tasty meals that I can meal prep so that I'm not stuck in the kitchen for hours. You may or may not know this about me, but before I became a dietitian, I actually went to culinary school. I did 2 years of culinary arts in high school, plus a year of culinary school at Johnson & Wales University. I absolutely love to cook. And don't get me wrong, I would love to spend hours in the kitchen, but unfortunately my life does not really give me several hours to spend in the kitchen. So lucky for you, because I know how to cook and I don't have a lot of time to spend in the kitchen, I've perfected several recipes for you that is going to give you enough protein that your body needs to build muscle and get stronger, but at the same time is balanced enough so that your body's getting all the macronutrients and all the micronutrients that it needs to perform well and for you to feel good. So let's go ahead and dive into these 5 quick, easy, high protein meal prep recipe ideas. Number 1 is a chicken quinoa bowl. Now, let me preface this with, if you hate quinoa, I know quinoa can be a love-hate relationship there. Many people either love it or they hate it. You can always substitute quinoa for rice, or you can even substitute it for potatoes. At the same time, if you are not a chicken fan or you are just chickened out, you can swap chicken for some other meat like pork tenderloin, for example, or chicken thighs, or some type of lean beef. But I'm going to go ahead and just give you my basic recipe for this chicken and quinoa bowl. So first, you're going to need 2 cups of cooked quinoa. Quinoa is actually much easier to cook than brown rice because it takes far less time. It's only about 15 minutes, whereas brown rice takes about 45 minutes, which is a time-saving hack in and of itself, but it's going to give you lots of protein and lots of fiber, more so than brown rice will. You're also going to need 2 grilled chicken breasts diced up, or you can follow my shredded chicken recipe, which I highly recommend doing, and I'll drop the link below for you in the show notes, because if you just make a whole bunch of shredded chicken, it's so versatile that you can incorporate it into so many other recipes. And I actually make my shredded chicken either in the crock pot or I'll do it in my Instant Pot. Sometimes I'll do it in the oven if I need some space, but it's very quick in the Instant Pot. It only takes about 10 minutes on the cook mode to make perfectly shredded chicken that you can incorporate into lots of different recipes. So like I said, I'll link that recipe below for you in the show notes. So you're going to need 2 cups of that. Then you're going to need 1 cup of cherry tomatoes. And I like to cut these in half. And then I also will incorporate 1 cup of spinach, or I will use Swiss chard because we have a garden and we have lots of Swiss chard growing in there. Swiss chard is basically the same thing as spinach. So either one is going to work fine. If you're more of a kale fan, that's fine too. You're also going to need just a little bit of olive oil, lemon juice, salt and pepper just for dressing up your salad. So I personally like this salad cold, but if you like it hot, you can certainly do that. But making it cold makes it pretty easy for meal prep because then you don't need to warm it up later on. So what you're going to do is get a bunch of containers. I personally use glass containers, or I'll use glass jars. I will save my glass jars from things like pickles and olives and things like that so that I can just easily create these meals in a jar. So in my jars or my containers, I will layer quinoa, then my chicken, then my cherry tomatoes and spinach. I will drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil, lemon juice, and then season with salt and pepper. And if I feel like getting crazy, I'll put some garlic powder or onion powder on it as well. I just kind of stir it up or give it a good shake. And then I just store it in the refrigerator for up to 4 days. So I will make this in advance for lunches. So for example, if I made chicken one night for dinner, that shredded chicken, I'm now going to make this meal for my lunches so I can just easily pull the jar out of the refrigerator. The best part is that it's in a clear glass container in the refrigerator where I can easily see it, and I'm not going to reach for something else instead. It's a super delicious meal, very filling and satisfying, yet super easy to make. So number 2 on my list is turkey and black bean chili. You can either make this in a pot on the stove, or you can always make it in an Instant Pot or a slow cooker, whatever you decide to do. So you're going to need 1 pound of ground turkey, a can of black beans drained and rinsed, a can of diced tomatoes, 1 onion diced up, 2 cloves of garlic minced, and then some spices like chili powder, cumin, salt, and pepper just to taste. So what you're going to do is in a large pot, you're going to saute your onions and garlic until soft in some olive oil. Then you're going to add in your ground turkey and cook it until it's browned. Next up, you're going to stir in your can of black beans and diced tomatoes, and then you're going to add in your spices. So the chili powder and the cumin, really, I just kind of eyeball it as far as how much I want to put in there. But if you need an exact measurement, I would say probably about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons each. Then you are going to simmer this for 20 minutes if you're doing it on the stovetop. Again, if you are doing this in the slow cooker, I would put it on low for probably about 2 hours. And then all you're going to do is divide it out into your containers. Again, I'm using glass jars. I personally don't use plastic containers anymore because of all the microplastics coming out of them. And then if you need to reheat them, it's leaching more plastic out of the containers into my food, which I don't want. So I'm using glass containers. So these are good in the refrigerator for up to 5 days. And typically what I do is I will make this actually for dinner, and then I am going to put these in containers for lunches. So if you've listened to any of my episodes on batch cooking, and if you haven't, I highly recommend that you do. Batch cooking is something that I do often where I will create the certain ingredients and put them together to make other meals. Or when I'm making dinner, I'll make a large pot of something. I'll make double or even triple the recipe so then I have extras for lunch. And that's exactly what I'm doing here with this recipe. If you want to add some more things to your chili, I highly recommend adding some shredded cheese, a little bit of sour cream, or some sliced up avocado to put on top. And you can even have some tortilla chips just to dip in here, which makes it like a super satisfying meal, especially when the weather starts getting cold. Next up is egg muffins. And this makes for a very easy breakfast or a satisfying snack. So what you're going to do is you're going to preheat your oven to 350 degrees and then either grease a muffin tin, or you can get a muffin tin and put those silicone liners in there. Or you can, of course, do paper liners as well. I just find that they stick a little bit more with the paper liners. So you're going to take 12 large eggs, so a dozen eggs, and blend that together with 1 cup of low-fat cottage cheese. Might sound a little bit weird, but the cottage cheese is going to increase the protein content of this meal. And I promise you won't even know that it's in there. It actually makes it kind of cheesy, which I love cheese. So it enhances the flavor in my opinion. Next, you're going to mix in 1 cup of spinach that is chopped up and a half a cup of bell peppers. You could really use whatever vegetables that you have on hand, but this is typically what I use. And then I just season with some salt and pepper. And then I'm just pouring the mixture into the muffin tin or the liners, and I will bake those for about 18 to 20 minutes. And then when they're done, I'll just pull the whole pan out of the oven and I will let them cool, and I'll put them in a container so I can pull from them for the week. Typically, I'm going to have about 2, maybe 3 of these muffins, but I'm going to also pair it with some type of carbohydrate. So your options would be, you could do overnight oats, you could do a bagel. You can even have a baked potato if you want to throw those in the oven while you're making your egg muffins. Whatever you want to do, you just need to pair it with some type of carbohydrate. This is going to take care of your protein and your fat needs. If you want to take this a step further, you could actually add some shredded hash brown potatoes that you get in the freezer section at the grocery store to the bottom of your muffin tin before you put the egg mixture in, and then pour the egg mixture on top. You would just need to probably double the amount of egg muffins that you're going to have because the potatoes are going to be taking up room. But you will get a well-balanced breakfast because you're going to be having carbohydrates plus your protein and fat. So number 4 are Greek yogurt parfaits. Personally, I love Greek yogurt parfaits. I think they're very satisfying, they're delicious, and they give you a lot of protein. I personally use plain Greek yogurt. I do understand it's an acquired taste. So if you don't want to use plain Greek yogurt, you can certainly use flavored Greek yogurt. That is fine. Just make sure that you're using Greek yogurt and not regular yogurt. You want the thicker yogurt that's strained because it's going to contain more protein. So I use 2 cups of Greek yogurt, 2 cups of frozen mixed berries. I personally like the frozen mixed berries for this just because when the frozen berries thaw out, they release their juices and it helps to flavor the yogurt even more. And this next part is optional, but I may drizzle with either a little bit of real maple syrup or some honey. And I put those into containers or my glass jars and store those in the refrigerator. And then I will take a half a cup of granola, divide it into 2 and put those into little baggies. So a 1/4 cup in each bag that I will put in the refrigerator with the Greek yogurt. I don't put it in the Greek yogurt. I just basically lay it on top. So then that way I have that granola that I can pour on top and it stays nice and crunchy. This is just going to give you 2 parfaits. You can, of course, make more than that. So you would just double the recipe or triple the recipe, whatever you want to do. But just know that it's really only going to stay good for about 4 days when you're using that frozen fruit because you don't want it sitting in the refrigerator unfrozen and then it gets mushy and gross after a while. But again, this makes for a very easy, satisfying snack, or you can also use it for breakfast. So last up on my list, number 5 is chickpea and tuna salad. So this is something very easy. And again, if you do not like canned tuna, you can swap this out for canned chicken. It's completely fine. But the plus side to using canned tuna is you are going to get some omega-3 fatty acids. Just throwing that out there. So what you're going to need is 1 can of chickpeas drained and rinsed. And then I will either use one of those big cans of tuna drained, or I will get 2 smaller cans of tuna. So when I'm saying the bigger cans, I'm talking about like the family sized cans of tuna, or the smaller cans, I'm talking about just like a normal size can of tuna that you would get in like a pack of 6 or whatever. Not like the little mini ones that you would get with a pack of crackers. That's way too small for this. So I'm going to mix together my chickpeas, my tuna, and then I'm going to throw in a 1/4 cup of diced red onion, a 1/4 cup of diced celery, about 2 tablespoons of mayo, or you can use Greek yogurt, a little bit of lemon juice, salt, and pepper. And then I basically just mix it up and I divide it out into containers. And that's it. You're getting plenty of protein, plenty of fiber, and it's very satisfying and it's delicious. It's kind of like a Mediterranean type salad that's delicious and easy. And the best part about all these recipes is you don't even need to know how to cook. These are the simplest recipes ever, and they're going to take you like 5 minutes to put together. So let's recap here on the 5 recipes. Number 1 is chicken and quinoa bowl. Number 2 is turkey and black bean chili. Number 3 is egg muffins. Number 4 is Greek yogurt parfaits. And number 5 is chickpea and tuna salad. If you have any amazing, quick, high protein recipes that you want to share with us, head on over to my Facebook group, Female Sports Nutrition, and share them with us and let us know how these recipes worked out for you. Hey friend, if this podcast inspired you, encouraged you, or changed you, I would love for you to leave me a review and share it with a girlfriend who will find it helpful or inspiring. That is the best way you can thank me and help me share my knowledge so I can help more people just like you. I'm so thankful that you spent this time with me today, and I'd love to connect with you. Join my Facebook group, Female Sports Nutrition, or send me a DM on Instagram, or hop on over to my website, EliteNutritionPerformance.com. I'll see you back here next week.